Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvisesa Sunyvari Paskya Desha Tarane Namo Mahabandanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Tuse Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahman Hitaya Chajigaritaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Rishi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I apologize that I can't look right into the camera because I don't have a camera that's eye level. So you'll just have to bear with me. I'll try to look a little bit onto the camera if I can, but it's not very good. I need to get a better camera. So um, today I want to discuss some very important things about Krishna consciousness uh, that you need to hear. Um, I've been a disciple of Srila Prabhupada for 55 years and been very faithful, chanting the names of Lord Krishna daily. So you might like to know, what is the result so far? What can you say has happened to you? Can you share some wisdom with us? That's the purpose of today's video. Uh, you, if you're new to Krishna consciousness, maybe only 5, 10 years, maybe not even a bhakti yet, you would like to know what it's like to be on the path for 55 years. Have you seen Krishna? Do you know who you are? What's going on? Well, first of all, you don't need to know if I've seen Krishna because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm showing my form to you, Arjuna. Others have seen it. All the members of the Parampara have seen it. Srila Prabhupada says, I've seen Krishna. So whether I've seen Krishna or not is not important. But I still would like to offer uh, some experience and understanding that I've had on the path of Krishna consciousness for 55 years. And I would like to tell you that this is a remarkable journey, unlike any other journey I've ever taken. And not even something that is clearly depicted in our books. Because the relationship between the soul and the Supreme Soul is so unusual. It's so real. And it converts us into a qualified devotee that can serve and be with Krishna forever. And that personality that we become is actually, at the present moment, it is beyond our perception, and there is no need for us to try to guess or figure it out, because who we are in Krishna Lila will be organically revealed. And what's interesting is when that revelation comes, because we are on the top notch, what we're doing is higher than Vaikuntha, it's higher than the celestial planets, higher than anything. It's very, very high level. So when Krishna reveals to us who we are, what is our proclivity, what is our choice, how we want to serve him, we will feel like we have always been with Krishna. So this material world is not a punishment because we have always been here. This is a opportunity. And someone says, oh, well, it's so terrible here. But actually, if you were born in the Satya Yuga, you wouldn't say that. And each one of us have had an opportunity to be in Satya Yuga and all the other yugas. So no one in Satya Yuga is complaining because that's something in the Kali Yuga where everything is so adharmic. Therefore, people say, how could you have always say, how can you, we say we've always been here? Earth is not a bad place. Bhumi Loka, Bharat Bhumi is actually the only place, I shouldn't say, is it the only, it is the best place for which to become Krishna conscious. Perhaps the only place. It is a very, very rare opportunity to have the human form on earth and to have the anugatya, the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Very, very rare. Everyone is capable of a spontaneous relationship with Krishna. Everyone has one. They just don't know it. So for you to uncover your relationship with Krishna is absolutely phenomenal. And I say uncover because who we are is already there. And at the same time, because we don't know, we must strive. But as Krishna reveals to us who we are, we feel so at home in our Krishna consciousness that it's almost as though we have really always been with Krishna and that somehow we're waking up to that fact. It is absolutely a achintya. Achintya means inconceivable. So we shouldn't, I'm not trying to throw intellectualism or speculation on this subject of falling from Krishna Loka, not falling from Krishna Loka. I'm trying to give you some idea of my experience after 55 years of chanting the holy names of my God and your God. And another thing I realize is coming into Krishna consciousness is just like waking up for the first time. It's like we've been asleep, just some type of sleep or what's the word? Amnesia. It's like just some type of fog. And when we wake up, now how is it that some of us wake up? How can that happen? And it happens because we take Krishna consciousness seriously at some point. And we really want to finish our material life. So we take our life in such a way as to limit our association with Maya. So if you're married and you're serious, whether you're older or you don't have to necessarily be older, generally that's the case. You want to retire from household life. You can still be with your wife, but it's explained in the Vedas. You're traveling to the different places of pilgrimage. You're going through the final stages of purification. So you have to be very conscientious that even though you're with your wife, your focus is on Krishna. And the wife should know that if you make that advancement or if she makes the advancement, both of you share in it. You have to have an agreement not to support each other in your focus and not to distract one another. This is very, very important. Now, during normal household life, that's different. You have children, you have responsibilities, you have to work, etc., and you're a team. So you depend on each other. Of course, you're depending on Krishna as well. But if you, but at some point, you want to become renounced and more focused on Krishna consciousness. Now, ideally, if you can be a single male or female as you get older, and you could be comfortable in your own skin and your own space, in your own living situation, and you can take that valuable time to really focus on your Krishna consciousness, that is the best opportunity. That's the best situation. That's the best situation. And I'm not saying you shouldn't preach, you shouldn't distribute books, you shouldn't worship the deity, all those things, because Vaidhi Bhakti externally we will do to the day we die. And preaching is a necessity. And if you don't go out to save somebody, they will never have the opportunity unless they are given the information from a devotee. So yes, we must go out and preach. And Krishna says, no one's more dear to me than he who preaches, explains the science. Explains the science. So if you have some ability or some knowledge, then you should preach, especially be merciful, go to home programs, give your association. If you're qualified, you should even be, it's like being a Siksha guru, and if you're even very qualified, you may be a Diksha guru. Depending on your level of qualification, your understanding, all this comes from your Krishna consciousness, and Krishna is working with you to guide you both spiritually, who you are in Krishna Loka, and also here on earth. He's also guiding as to what he wants you to do. So the most important thing, however, is that we are closing up our senses to sense gratification. We are closing the gates of our portals of our body to sense gratification. So we are really focusing on our bhakti and our chanting and associating with devotees, festivals, etc. This is very important. Very important. In this way, we can really get our relationship with Krishna. We can expose our heart to Krishna, and we can awaken our most refined or deepest desires for Krishna. He reveals himself to us if we have this deep level of desire. And that can only come when we've renounced the desire for sense gratification. And you will know your level. It'll be revealed to you, your level. So you can work on yourself until you've achieved a level of bhakti and devotion that is like, as Bhakti Vinod says, Namabhas is the first stage where there's a shadow of pure Krishna consciousness, because the mind is clear like a lake. So the holy name of Krishna can reflect on your Atma, your soul, your mind, and then it vibrates in deeply into the Atma, the soul, deeply, because Krishna is super soul, supreme soul. So Krishna can vibrate within us deeply. In so doing, he's revealing his form, he's revealing his pastimes, everything to us. We need this level of connection if we are to advance to go cool in the next life. We have to have this type of deep connection, a very deep soul connection. And that soul connection is not just intellectual. In that connection, Krishna shows you the form that is most dear to you, the form of himself that is most dear. And that form also simultaneously reveals your form and your relationship. And this is how it's done. This is the organic evolvement of your Krishna consciousness. And when that takes place, then there's this spontaneous love that cannot be explained, that is very confidential, where Krishna becomes such a good friend, such a good lover, such a good child, that you feel that he is your best friend, that you have the best relationship with him. He is so amazing that there's nothing left other than feeling totally happy with the Lord and your relationship with him. And it converts you into a resident of Vrindavan. Now, that is a very, very interesting phenomenon that you cannot do on your own. It is something that is done for you, but you will feel this eternal youth. You will possess or become a personality that is outside of your own mental, intellectual faculties. It is a person with a particular character that is you and is executing or involved in Krishna Lila in a particular way that you don't even have to think about. It's so natural. And so what becomes very difficult to understand from a lower level of bhakti becomes revealed and easy to understand on a higher level. And the best example I can give is what Srila Prabhupada gave, where he said, a woman who is pregnant is very eager to have the child, but she must remain patient for the 9 months. So similarly, we should be very eager to want to serve Krishna directly, but we cannot jump over the head of Guru to get to Krishna. There is a process that we must follow. And if we are very sincere and follow and chant the beautiful names of Krishna, then the eternal identity that we possess will be revealed to us. And we will be able to serve Krishna with great love, great devotion, tears coming to our eyes. This will become our meditation always. The most beautiful meditation and the most beautiful person that you will become. Not just beauty, but person. The humility, the tenderness. I can't explain, but this person that you become is an expansion of Krishna. It is Krishna as a devotee of himself. It is Krishna expanding beautiful, perfect, pure devotees who all have perfect personalities and beautiful love for Krishna. And it is such a dance between Krishna and his devotees. It's just a remarkable experience. So I think what I'm trying to convey is something of value and importance that you, I'm sure, the audience, the listener, the viewer is experiencing by my telling this to you. I absolutely beseech each and every one of you to become as Krishna conscious as you can in your present life. And there is no reason why everyone who takes up the practice of Krishna consciousness, especially, I shouldn't say especially, but under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, there are other bona fide spiritual masters. My guru is Srila Prabhupada. You can be Krishna conscious in one life by the grace of Lord Chaitanya. You can be Krishna conscious in one life. So don't think, oh, it's too much beyond me. I'm going to have to take birth again and again. You don't need to. Of course, if that happens, that's all right. You're protected. You'll probably get a very good birth to continue your Krishna consciousness. But regardless, at some point in time, you'll have to be serious about your loving Krishna. So the best time is now. So if you desire to be serious, that's a good thing. Because if you're serious and you connect with Krishna, then you don't come back to the material world again. Then you go on into Gokul, and from there, you go to the Apakrit Lila in Goloka. Anyone, not just big devotees, but every and any devotee, anyone. You don't have to be big name devotee. No. Krishna is so merciful, kind, he's equal to all. So someone who's never been a temple president, never been a guru or GBC, doesn't make a difference. It has nothing to do with that. It has all to do with connecting your heart with Krishna. That's all. Anyone can do, anyone, under any circumstance. It is the perfect goal of life. It is the most beautiful thing ever. And when you connect with Krishna, all your thoughts become just like molten gold. They just flow beautifully, beautifully. And your whole life just becomes beautiful, surrendered, molten gold. And you become so happy all the time in Krishna consciousness. So I think we've said pretty much everything we want to say. If you have any comments, if you want to talk with me personally, we're going to expand our preaching work here in Southern California. And just to share with our audience, we do have a very deep personal desire to start a community, not a small one. These are thoughts that are coming in my head by the grace of Lord Krishna. But I'm thinking 1,500 homes, all Vastu homes, with a beautiful temple in the middle, access to the temple from all four sides, beautiful stairs going up. Doesn't have to be high stairs, just some stairs, which is nice to elevate the temple a little higher than every other house. And all four corners of the property, it'll be a large property. There'll be large deities Sankarshan Prajumya Aniruddha Vasudev, to protect all the devotees and keep out demons. These are the quadruple expansion of the Lord. There'll be minor temples also within the community for Nrsingadev and other deities. And one of the key features of this community is that we want this to be, we don't want or expect devotees to have to, here's the idea behind it. The name of the community will be Sharanagati. That will be part of the name, if not the entire name. And the idea behind it is Sharanagati is where you can completely surrender. And it is hard to surrender if you have possessions or feelings of possessions. So one of the aspects of this community is we want you to come. We don't want you to have to pay for anything. We will give you this beautiful Vastu home. If you're a single individual, it'll be 600, 700 square feet. If you're married, 12, 1,500 square feet. I don't know. But I'm begging Krishna to help supply this unlimited Lakshmi that we need, because he's very rich, has all the money. And this will become like Vaikuntha on earth. So you come into the community, there'll be pasture grounds for cows, of course, but there'll be land for growing vegetables and fruits. There'll be parks, playgrounds for the children. We have Gurukul. There'll also be medical facility for growing older. But without this sense of proprietorship, no one's going to own the home. You come into the community, you partake in the community, you serve in the community. You do deity worship, or you do pujari work, or you work in the kitchen, or you work in the field, you do harinam, you publish or write some books, you work in the medical area. You do something within the community. This is not freeloading. But in return, you'll feel like you're in Vaikuntha, because you won't have this burden of possessiveness. Everything is being given if you just participate in the bhakti. You come to all the programs in the morning. This is not eating, sleeping. This is participation in a community. Each of us need one another, and this will make us very happy. So this was coming to me. I'm praying that I can start this community, this vision that was given to me. Of course, I'm older, so if I'm able to start it, I don't expect to be around forever. I won't. But I hope to pass it on, and maybe this thing can actually grow and happen. We shall see. So now I've shared with you my idea. So, there's something interesting that I was meditating upon the other day, and that is that when a devotee has a desire that is aimed or focused at Krishna, that desire always comes true. Always, because it is an eternal desire focused on pleasing Krishna. Whereas, if you're a karmi and you have a desire, it may or may not come true. And even if it comes true, it will not last. The only desires that last, that become true and last, are desires that are focused on pleasing Krishna. In the spiritual world, they have what is called chintamani, touchstone. These are wish-fulfilling stones or trees, kalpavriksha. So as soon as you have the desire to please Krishna, it manifests. And the same here in the material world. If you have a desire to please Guru and Krishna, it will become true. So those desires cannot be taken away because they're beyond the material world, beyond time or space. They're kept by the Lord, and they will manifest because the devotee is desiring it for Krishna's pleasure. And Krishna makes it happen. So I pray that this community can actually take place. I'm speaking it. I want this truth out there. So this video can be preserved. And if that truth does not take place in my lifetime, someone else will hear this video. And that eternal desire will manifest in that person's heart. And they will make it happen. Because nothing a devotee desires that is pure ever goes without becoming manifest. I pray for the mercy of my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I pray for the blessings of all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. I pray that you will kindly forgive me for any offenses that I've committed to you, which I'm sure are numerous. I pray that you kindly forgive me. Panchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Blessings to each and every one of you on your Krishna conscious journey. May Krishna bless you. May Krishna bless your family. And may Krishna always be with you. Hare Krishna.